Good afternoon. Today we are here again. I thank you all for joining me live. So just stay put and listen to us. Yesterday, this is day 3 of our Nobus Global Entrepreneurship Week. Yesterday, we talked about where our money was going to, the things that we are swallowing our money, how to start saving small, small, and how to start differentiating our business money from home money. I believe that session was insightful. At least you must have gone home with one or two takeaways, key actions, action plans to start implementing immediately. So today we are going to look at how to build fundable and sustainable businesses. We want to turn our hustle into businesses that have structures. We want to leave the level of hustling, side runs, and move on to the next level, which is the level of having a structured businesses. So stay back. I implore you get your notes, just listen very well, and also drop your comments in our comment section. If you feel that you still need to get, you can also get across to us, DM us, chat us, or call us. We are here to help you. We want to become your accountability partners. So feel free. Our doors are open. You can come to our offices. Our aim is that we want to see you having structure and having purpose as far as your money is concerned. So here we go with the presentation. This day 3, we are looking at how to turn our hustle to bankable and grant attracting businesses. Most times, many of us we feel like I don't have money, I don't have capital. That's why my business is not doing well, or that's why I have not started, or that's why I've not really become the big woman that I'm meant to be. So today we want to tell you how you can start packaging that your hustle, if you're still at the hustling level, to a bankable and grant attracting business. We also want to lead your business, not doing so well businesses that are at startup stage, very micro level. We also want to tell you how to make those businesses big by making them bankable, making them investor friendly. Most times when you want to do something alone, you may not go far. But if you want to really go far in life, it's always advisable to go ahead, move with people. Don't just move alone. So whatever your idea is, don't be scared of attracting investors. Don't be afraid of getting to the banks. Don't be afraid of reaching out to people. You cannot do it alone, except that you want to stay at that micro level. But if you really want to grow, involve people. So that's why we want to make these businesses attractive from the first day, in such a way that when people come, they'll say, yes, I want to put my money here, I want to invest in this idea. But if you just do that business like a hustle, like a side hustle, we may end up remaining at that level. I want us to build businesses that turn into legacy businesses that at the end of the day, when we are weak, when we are tired, we can courageously bequeath those businesses to our children, to our families. That's how so many of these big companies that we're seeing now, that's how they came up. Coca-Cola, it was a family business, a one-man business, but today it's a worldwide business. So let's stop looking at ourselves. Let's look beyond ourselves. We are on a mission, on a mission to create legacies, to build financial legacies for ourselves and for our children. Always keep that in mind. Don't do things that will end at your own time, at your own level. No matter what it is, always think of bequeathing it to the next generation. That's how we will remain unforgettable on this planet Earth. Remember, we are only remembered by our works, what we do, and let our businesses become part of our works. So we move ahead. Now, I want to ask a question. What business are you really doing today? When I say business, I mean, what do you sell or what do you do to make money? What do you do to make money? Even if you are employed, is there anything that you do that earns money apart from your regular job? You know, we are preaching entrepreneurship. This week is entrepreneurship week. So we are not just looking at you as an employee, a government employee, a bank staff, an MTN staff, and stuff like that. No, we are looking at yourself as your own employer. That thing that you do apart from your paid work, where you earn your salary. Those things that you do that can earn money. That's what we are asking for today. What do you do? What do you sell? What value do you add to people? It may be that you cancel people, and when you cancel people, your counseling makes result. You can monetize that counseling. It become a paid service, even if it's little amount that people pay to you. So what is that thing that you do? What service do you render? What value do you provide that people can give you money in return for the value? That's what we are asking for today. That's the hustle that we intend you to turn into business, profitable businesses, businesses that have structure. Okay. The next thing, what do you want this business to look like? No, remember our vision is in three phases. By this time next year, by this time 3 years time, and by this time in 5 years. So that business, that service, that value that you add for money or you render for money, what do you want it to look like by this time next year? What do you want it to look like in 3 years time? What do you want it to look like in 5 years time? I'll implore you to find somewhere and put it down. As you answer the question, the first question, the second question, just put them down somewhere. Today is our takeoff point. This is our starting point. So just find somewhere and write it down so that you can always go back and say, yes, this is where I was. That's today's hustle, my today's hustle. By next year, let's see if this hustle has become a fundable business, if this hustle has turned into a business that has structure, if this free counseling I've been doing has turned into a full-fledged counseling services. So that's what I want us to do. I want us to have structure. I want us to work with vision. What's the difference between hustle and business? Yeah, when somebody is hustling and when somebody is in business, what's the difference? Can I get your reactions? Can anybody? Oh, Wiz, I don't know if I pronounced this name correctly, says in 3 years' time, I want to be larger. Mm-mm. Remember our first day, we talked about visions being smart. Mr. Wiz, okay, Mrs. Wiz, this is not really right. I want to be larger, it's not measurable. So I want you to be definite with that larger, define that larger. Somebody may want to be larger, earning maybe 200,000 from where you're coming from. Another person may want to be larger, earning in 7 figures every month. Okay, you help brands to go public. You are into digital media, if I may say so. So you can just this vision, write it down to be smart. It has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be realistic, and it has to be time bound. So in 3 years time, this time 3 years time, I want to be larger. Put a figure to that largeness. Let's okay, that's our way to go. We don't just leave it vague. No, we have to attach figures to it so that we'll be able to measure it at the end of in 3 years time. I can ask you, Wiz, let's know, where are you today? Maybe you are making income of 100,000 every month. Then in 3 years time, we can now say, okay, Wiz is now generating 3 million every month. We know that you have really gone large. So let's attach figure to our largeness. Thank you. So any other comments? Hustle. When we talk about hustle, we talk about the things that we do. Yes, they may be earning us money, but they don't have structure. There are no records. Everything is in our head. You do it the way you want to. You start it when you want to. There are no checks. There are no balances. You just do it as if it's a leisure activity. There's no structure attached to it. That's hustle. Yes, it can be earning you money, but at that level, you are still hustling. You go out, you may also have an office location, a business location, go out in the morning, come back in the evening, but everything you are doing is just on you, on your head. There are no records. If something happens, for instance, that maybe you are incapacitated someday, God forbid, but life do happen. Nobody can say this is what you have been doing, this is where you were, these are the things that you do, these are your sales, these are your suppliers, these are your customers and stuff like that. So at that level, you are not really doing a business, you are hustling, you are not into business. When you want to go to the level of a business, you have to have a structure, you have a plan, you have a design, you have a strategy, and all these things should be documented. That's when you know that you are into business. So most of us that are hustling, thinking that they are in business, are not in business. That's why most times when you go to the bank, you tell the bank, I want to collect 500,000, I want 1 million for me to add to the business I'm doing. They'll ask you some questions and they will be certain that you're not in business. And nobody wants to fund anything that is not business. Nobody funds hustling. No. Before you can be funded, you really show that you're in business. Even your friends, some of us, they may be we may be angry at our relatives, even our husbands, our spouses. We'll be thinking, that my husband is supposed to have given me money. I've been doing this, I've been begging him for money, he's not giving me money. The simplest truth is that he's not seeing what you're doing as a business. He may not tell you, he may not have the language to explain, but from what you are doing, him looking at it, assessing you, he knows that you are not into business. So maybe the times he will also want to give you money, he give you money as if you're hustling, not that you're in business. So we have to have a structure. It's a structure that this differentiates a business from hustling. We have to have a structure. Why do we need this structure? Like I said before, funders don't just ask, what do you sell? They ask, how do your numbers look? That's why when you go to the bank to ask for a loan, they will ask you to get your statement of account. That's the simplest way to check your numbers. It shows them what goes in and out of the business. From there, they can assess your business. But in the real sense, when you're looking for funders, people that can Okay, sorry for the break in transmission. As I was saying before I went off, we are trying to differentiate between hustle and business. So I was emphasizing that founders these days are looking out for women-owned businesses to invest in. They have their monies ready, but they want to see your structure. That's why you need a structure. You don't need just hustling. You don't need to hustle. You need to have a business that have structure. So today we are out to teach ourselves, though this is just like the rudiment, the basics. We want to teach ourselves the basic of getting small structures. That's how to start putting down our businesses, putting down our numbers, the fundamentals, the basic. That's what we are trying to teach us today. We have other programs where you can learn them in detail, but we want to just start off and tell you what it means to have basic structures. So, the purpose of business, whatever you're doing, is to make profit. And when somebody is coming to invest in you, either as a loan, either as a grant, or venture capitalist, wherever the person is coming from, everybody wants to invest in a business that is profitable. And what is profit? Profit is not just all the money that you collect. Oh. All the money that you collect, that is turnover, is revenue. And that is not profit. There is a great wall of difference between profit and revenue, or profit and turnover. You may be busy selling, you may be busy doing whatever you're doing, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is your business profitable? And that is what the mindset I want us to develop as we are doing our business. Even if you are about to start or you're already in business, just slow down, have a retreat, go back and check and ask yourself and examine your books and know if you are really profitable or if you are just running around. There's what they call motion without movement. Your business may be in that state at this level. You are busy. In the morning, you wake up, come back in the evening, tired. But at the end of the day, that business is just having motion and there is no movement. You can no movement by profit. The level of profit that you're making, that's the movement. Movement is getting from one stage to another stage. That is movement. So if you are continuously on the same level, that is motion. You are busy, you are running around, there is motion, but there is no movement. At the end of the day, you are staying where you were. We want to say no to that come 2026. So profit is what came in minus what went out to run the business. That's very simple language. We've broken it down. Meaning, let's assume this month, let's take, okay, this week, for instance, ask yourself, all the money that I have sold, all the money that customers have paid me, both in cash and in bank, when you sum up everything, then ask yourself, what expenses have I made doing this business this week, including your transportation, the water that you bought, you call that aboki to fetch water for you, you pay the person. You'll be able to bring it down and say, this water, if I divide it daily, this is how much this water costs me every day. So at the end of the week, you know the cost of that water, the sales girl that you pay, all those things that go out, the money that leave that business, you put them down. When you remove what you spend from what you earn, that is when you know your profit. So if what you take out is more than what you earn, it means that you're in loss, you're making loss, the business is not profitable. But after you remove what you have spent from what you earn and your figure is positive, then you know that you're making profit. So when you remove what you use to run that business from what you earn doing that business, that is profit in layman's language. But if you go higher, you now know there is what they call gross profit and net profit. But we have not come to that level. Let's use the simple grammar now. Profit. What comes in minus what goes out. That is profit. So if you don't know your profit, you can't know what kind of loan you can handle safely. So, so if you cannot estimate your profit, like I said, profit is not turnover. Turnover is all the income that that business generates, all the money that comes into that business is turnover. When you now remove what went out from the business, what you use, the cost of running that business, the expenses that you incur daily doing that business, when you remove your expenses from that income, the revenue that you have generated, that's when you know your business, your profit. And like I said before, it's from your profit that you'll be able to handle loan. That's why some people, when they borrow money from banks, at the end of the day, they say that bank money is diabolic money, or that is hot money. That the money lender, they say that those people, that they take their money to shrine before giving it to them. No, 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 no. It's a big no. The problem is you. You don't know your profit. You take your turnover to be your profit. So you may feel like I generate 10,000 every week, so I can be able to pay back 8,000 to the bank, to Lapo or to Nobus or to any other bank. But at the end of the day, you see that that 10,000 is not your profit, is income, is turnover. Your loan repayment should actually come from your profit and not from your turnover. So that's why we want to take our time to explain to us the way to determine our profit, to estimate our profit. When we start making profit is when we can start looking for loans to run our businesses. If we are not making profit, I advise us to go for investors, somebody that will be ready to take part of your equity. Maybe you tell the person, this business that I'm doing, if you give me 1 million, I'll add to the business, I'll be able to start making profit of say 500,000, and out of this 500,000, I'll be giving you 100,000 for your investment in the business. That is profit sharing. Maybe, or you can go to your brothers, or you go to your sisters or relatives. But if your business is not making profit, please cease. Don't go asking for loan. You will think that that bank money is a diabolic money. No, don't go for loan money. When you are not making profit and you need to expand, or you need to inject more capital into your business, go and look for there are people they call angel investors, people that can give you grants, people that can give you free money or interest free money. At the end of the period, you return the money to that person, or people that will share profit with you. When you start making profit, they are ready to wait and let the business grow. When the business starts making profit, then you start paying that person. But for you to be able to attract this level of investors, you still need to have proper records, so that the person will be convinced that yes, you are not making profit. Because you can come and tell me you are not making profit when you are making profit. But if I have access to your records, I'll be able to know, yes, this business is not making profit now, but this business has prospects. Let me bring my money. I can wait for 1 year, I can wait for 6 months. Then the business will be able to resurrect, come back to life, start making profit, and we'll start sharing the profit. So transparency matters when business is concerned. That's why people will always ask you for records. They will ask for bank statement. You can tell anybody anything that you want to tell anybody, but when we see your records, the person will be able to make an informed decision. So we have a worksheet for this training. If you're interested, you can ask for it at the end of the training. But you can also make improvise a worksheet. Just get a plain paper. As we get to the next page, as we are talking, you will be putting things down. That will also form a simple worksheet for you. So on your worksheet, write down what you sell. It may be product or service, whatever it is, write it down. Then write down average selling price per unit. For instance, if I run a restaurant, my unit of measurement is plate. So I can say each plate of rice is 1,500. That's the average selling price per unit. My unit is plate. A plate of rice, it goes for 1,500. If I'm a fashion designer, I can say that my unit price, the least amount I can collect from people for clothes I make for them, I can put it down. Then if I'm a hairdresser, I can say this is the my unit price, the least amount of money I can collect, maybe for washing hair, for braiding, for styling and stuff like that. Then the next question or the next thing that you write down, how many units do I normally sell on a normal day? Let me bring it down again. If I'm a food vendor, I will now put maybe on the average, my daily sales is like 10 plates of rice. That's the units I sell every day. If I'm a fashion designer, I can say on the average, I can make 3 clothes every day. That's the units of my sale units. Then, if I'm a hairdresser, I can say on the average, normal day, I can make 3 persons hair. That becomes my units, daily units. Then, the next thing to do, how many days do you work in a month? If I do 5 days a week, I will not say in a month, I will do 5 times 4. So that will be 20 days in a week. So if I'm a food vendor, maybe I supply to a school, that means I I work Mondays to Fridays. And let me assume that my unit of sale is 10 plates on the average daily. So I can now say on daily basis I sell 10 plates of rice. Now weekly basis, that's 5 days, is 10 times 5. So every week my unit of sales is 50 plates of rice. Then because I do 5 days a week, I will now say 50 times 4. That will give me my monthly average sales. I don't know if you understand me, but I believe if you're putting it down, it will be easier for you. Example 2, I'm a fashion designer. I can sew from Monday to Saturday. That means I work 6 days a week. In a month, I'll be working 6 times 4, which is 24 days in a month. So, like I said earlier, I make 3 clothes daily. So, in a week, my unit of sale will be 3 times 6. 3 daily times 6 days in a week. That's 18 clothes in a week. So, on weekly basis, I have 18 units of sales. Assuming that all the people that I sew for, they pay me. Maybe I do cash advance, so they pay me. So I'll know that my unit of sales for that week is 18 clothing. So whatever amount that I used to sew one, I'll times it by 18. That will give me my weekly sales. Then for me to get my monthly sales, I'll now do 6 times 4, which is 24. Then, sorry, 18 is weekly. So I can now do 18 times 4 to get my average monthly sales volume. If I'm a hairdresser, the same thing applies. Maybe hairdressers, most of them, they work Monday to Sunday. So my weekly sales is now for 7 days, 3 times 7, which is 21. Then I'll now multiply 21 by 4 to get my monthly sales. So that's how we estimate our monthly sales. Then, for us to know our monthly profit, is assumed, or we are now expected to write down every expenses that we make for that business from day one of the month to the last day of the month. So on that last day of the month, we sum up all the expenses that we have incurred running that business from the first day to the last day. Then from our sales, monthly sales volume, we remove the expenses. That will give us our simple profits. I don't know if I'm clear. I don't know if I'm clear. So if you have any question, you can drop in the comment section, or you can contact us after the training. So we've been able to establish our simple monthly profit. We ask ourselves, why do funders, people that give us this money, even family members that want to give us this money, why are they concerned about our numbers? Why do they care about our numbers? The answer is simple, like I've said before. Nobody wants to invest in a venture that is not profitable. It's just like pouring water on inside a basket. Nobody wants to do it. Even a baby looking at you will be like, why are you pouring water inside this basket? Because there is nothing to hold it. So nobody will just want to bring out his money or her money and put in a business that is not profitable. The person would rather dash you money and go. That's why that you may go to somebody, a relative, a spouse, an in-law, an uncle, stuff like that, or even a bank, with all your ideas. After pitching, after telling them all that you do, the goodness of your ideas, the person will say, I don't have money. But another person may still go back to that same person. Maybe someone that is not related to that uncle may go back to that uncle, and the uncle will give the person money. When you hear about it, you feel that this uncle, he doesn't like helping family members. He's always giving outsiders. He's not giving me. Anybody that hears that I'm related to him will feel that I should be doing well. Nobody wants to invest in unprofitable venture. That's the reality. That is a fact. That is the truth. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. So when you, after you are pitching, the man or the woman may just give you money that will take you back home, or money that will feed you for 1 week, because he knows that he cannot trust that business. So investors, banks, government agencies like Bank of Industry, and even us, we at Mobus, we are not just difficult. We want to know that we will be able to pay back as at when due. We want to know that whatever we are giving out is going to come back. We are going to return whatever is given back to you. So even if I'm giving you grants, I'll be happy to know that at the end of the period, this money that I've given you as a grant becomes profitable, that the business grows from one level to the other. If I'm not seeing that traction, if I'm not seeing that prospect in that your business, I will not give you my money. I'll just give you money that can feed you for 1 or 2 days and save myself the stress. I'll look for somebody that is more serious to invest in. So that's the mindset of investors. That's the mindset of borrowers. They want to invest in profitable businesses. That's why your numbers matters. So if you have a very good idea, good handwork, my sister, try to sit down, analyze that business, know what you are doing wrong, know what you are doing right, be able to make these your numbers profitable, so that when people look at it, they will say, yes, we want to invest in this. And let me tell you again, You yourself, if you don't understand your numbers, that business will just be operating on autopilot. You will not be able to have control on that business. People may be coming in and be cheating you. Customers may be cheating you. Your staff, your workers may be cheating you. Your suppliers may be cheating you. So you have to sit down and understand your numbers. That's the only way you sef will be satisfied running that business. Because if you run a business that at the end of the year, instead of the business growing, instead of the business expanding, we are still going around asking people for money, asking banks for money. If a bank gives you for 1 million naira, for instance, for a start, bank will be happy to give you 5 million, but they can't give you that 5 million next time if they've not seen traction, if they've not seen the difference, the movement your business have made with that 1 million. Even God himself too, most of we know the parable of the talents. Three persons were given talents. One was given one, the other one was given two, the other one five. The person given one went and buried his talent. When the master came back, he returned the talent as it was. The master was very, very angry. And listen to the master's voice. He said that if you could have at least put this money in the bank and they will pay me interest. So everybody wants growth. Even God wants growth. If you are not growing, that's why Bible says, to them that have, more will be given unto them. So if God will take back the one that you feel that you don't even have. That's why many people remain at poverty level. They will be feeling that they don't have. God will go back and still collect that one that they have and give to someone that already has. Is law of nature. Multiplication. Nature loves multiplication. Investors love multiplication. We at Nobles, we love multiplication. So let that business grow. Let it be making steady movement. People may have setbacks along the line. You understand that. From your books, from your records, it can be seen. It can be discussed. Somebody can ask you, why this sudden slump? You used to sell this volume. You used to sell up to 1 million every month. Why the sudden shift? Now you're doing 500. Then you explain, maybe that time your machine was down. Maybe that time the weather was not favorable. Maybe that time there was COVID-19 and there was lockup. Nobody was coming out. We'll be able to explain. But we want to see these things written down in black and white. So sis, I implore you today, go and start keeping records of your books, of your business. Keep books. We can still help you draft some of these basic books that you have to keep as a business owner. Keep records. They are very, very important. Even for yourself. Tomorrow you'll be able to know, at this time last year, this is how much I was buying this. Now, this is how much I am buying. So that you can be able to determine right pricing for your products. You may think that you're growing because your customers' volume is increasing, but they're actually coming to you because they know that they're cheating you. So you think that you have plenty customers. Those customers coming are not really profitable. Let me give you a short story. When I was in the bank, we had this customer. Every season, this man will come asking for loan top up. Asking for loan top up. At the time, the account officer was like asking, why are you always asking for loan? When you are always asking for loan, it's a red flag. I've given you 1 million this year. Next year, yes, even if you're asking for loan, I want to see progression. What have happened to the 1 million that you had? But not, I give you 1 million. Maybe your turnover then used to be 2 million. I give you 1 million. Then your turnover, instead of increasing to 5 million because I've given you a leverage, your turnover still remains at that 2 million. Sis, something is wrong. And you may be telling me that you have many customers, like the young man then. He used to tell us that, has volume, he will be buying. He didn't know that he was a stockpiling problem until one day the thing busted. The guy was in debt of over 20 million that he didn't know where the money went to. So keeping records is good for you yourself as a business owner. If you really want to run the business as business, not like a hustling. Even if you're a charitable organization, I still implore you to keep your records. so that you know what you are doing. You know the level of impact you're making. Even if you're dashing people money, you know that yes, I've been able to give out this money, and this money I've given out, look at the impact it has made on the lives of these people. Keep your records. They are very, very, very necessary. It's also your numbers. It's also good to have records. It will help to tell you when you have need to expand or not. Some people, they will just feel, let me go and get another branch because all my mates, they've gotten a second branch. That's not how to run business. Look at your numbers and know that the profit that you have will be able to fund another location. You don't just maybe you borrow money and use it to fund expansion. It's good to borrow money to fund expansion, but it's good for you to know that yes, this my expansion is being funded by credit, so that you know how to run that business. You won't run it as if you are running it with your own money. You know that whatever you're gaining, whatever is your profit, you are going to share it with the person that is funding the business, either a friend, either an investor, or a bank. You know that this profit, we are meant to share it in this proportion or in that proportion after removing the business expenses. So it is very necessary that we keep our records and know our numbers. So if there is anything that you're going to take home today, remember that you have to keep your numbers. Even if you are not running any business, that you're just earning salary, it's also good that you know your numbers. Know how much you earn, know how much you spend, and know your net. You know, some of us, when they give us a form, they call it net worth. When somebody asks you your net worth, many of us, we get confused or lost. Even if you are earning salary, you can be able to say this is my net worth. Your net worth is what you earn minus what you have spent. That is your net worth. So at a glance, you can say yes, every month I earn 100,000. My monthly expenses is not more than 60,000. So every month my net worth is 40,000. Then at the end of the year, I can multiply 40 by 12. I can say this is my net worth for this particular year. From that, I can now say, okay, I'm going to invest, I'm going to buy a property, I'm going to buy shares, I'm going to put it in bank fixed deposit and earn more interest. It's good. It gives confidence when you can say this is what I am worth. It gives confidence. So my sis, I implore you, know your numbers. It's very necessary. Okay, we now go to business profile. Like I said, everything we are doing today is just basics. We are not making it complex so that everybody will understand. You know, when we are talking about business profile, it's part of the things investors look out for. Banks, investors, people that give you grants, donor agencies, they look at for your profile. Your profile is who are you? This business that you're telling us about, who is this business? So in that your business profile, you as a person, even when somebody asks you, what do you do? The person is actually asking you for your business profile. So in that business profile, you are going to know like who are you? You answer that question. What do you sell? What service do you provide? That is part of the business profile. It's a question that you must answer. We want to know, what do you sell? What services do you render that people pay you for? Then again, you also tell us who you serve. That is your customers, your clients, your target market. Who do you serve? This is your business. Who does it serve? That is part of the business profile. We want to know. Then how much do you roughly make? How much do you roughly make? That's the part we just talked about before, the profits you make. Then what support do you need? I want 500,000 to buy a new machine. I need 500,000 to go into digital marketing. I want to establish an online presence. I need 500,000. I need 500,000 to buy new stock. I need 500,000 to pay for rent. You must tell the investor or whoever you're asking for this business money the support that you need in exact figure and for what purpose. That's part of the profile. So even if you want to go to the bank, if you are going to Bank of Industry, if you are going to Smedan, you are going to grant agencies, people that give you grant, they will still ask this basic question. So you as a business person, you're supposed to have your business profile offhand. Even when you're discussing with somebody, just maybe a potential client, this profile is what you sell. That is what you tell the person. Then the person will now know, okay, I'm coming to buy from you. I'm coming to support this business. So it's always profitable that you have a business profile and have it written somewhere, maybe in your WhatsApp, your your business WhatsApp page. Just have this draft. This is me. This is who I am. These are the services I render. These are the products that I sell. These are my market. This is what this business is worth in a very simple and concise language. Okay, this is what we have said before. If you have your worksheet, either you get from us or the one that you've written out down by yourself, they're all the same thing. This is what can give you a mini business profile. Business name. What do you call that business? Chinelo Ventures, Adobe and Sons Ventures, Gen Z Business. Whatever you think that the name that you have given to this business, not your personal business, that's your business name. Then what you sell, in a very simple language, what you sell or what you do, who you serve, your typical customers, and where you get them is part of it. It gives you a guide, your roughly monthly sales up and profit from your calculation. Then what you need the support for, like I've mentioned before, this gives you your mini business profile. Okay, this section is for our classroom, our workshops. Is not meant to serve you. So in all these things, we now ask ourselves, where do nobles come in? Just like we are doing today. Where we come in is we want to become your partners. We want to fund some of our businesses. We are not that big. We are looking at micro businesses to fund at this level. But even if we cannot fund you directly, we can lead you to other funders. We can lead you to commercial banks. We can lead you to Bank of Industry. We can lead you to Smedan. We can lead you to grant agencies. We can help you process this your business profile or package your business in such a way that it can be invested in, it can attract investors. That's where we come in. So we have different things that we do at Nobles that can support your businesses. We are not just about your daily savings. We are not about savings. We are about savings to invest. That's our vision. That's our aim. We want to see you grow beyond savings to real investment, to real thriving businesses. So we want to help you grow your hustles into fundable businesses. We have some services that we render, like capital link, just like I mentioned before, linking you to sources of capital. It can be angel investors, it can be grant agencies, it can be government agencies like Bank of Industries, Medan, Bank of Agriculture, Development Finance Bank, Afrexim banks. We have information that can lead you to this capital from these agencies, these organizations. Then we also have our growth decks, where we can look at your business, we help you analyze it, and we help you to develop a business plan, business strategy that can take you to the next level. And like I said before, we also have our loan support. Though our loan at this moment is at micro level, we help people that are still growing up. We give you a maximum of 200,000 to fund your business. So we can also help you, like I say, package your business story properly so that investors can get interested in your business and come in. So, and where do we start? Just like we are doing today, we want to help you have clear vision of where you want this business to be. We want to help you start putting down your numbers, keeping records. We want to help you have a good business profile. We want to help you start having savings history, having a bankable histories. We want to help you start keeping records. If you're really interested in attracting big money for your business, we want to help you. We want to become your accountability partners. We want to lead you by the hand, like we said on the first day of this presentation, that we are not just a savings organization. We are like a sisterhood. We want to see every woman succeed, because we know that when women succeed, the families are better, and when families are better, the societies are better. The society is better, sorry. So we want to see you from graduate from hustle to business, and not just business, to thriving businesses. That's where we come in. So feel free to contact us. Feel free to come to us. We want to help you. And before we close, there's one task that we want us to do. Get out a clean piece of paper, a clean sheet. Then we want to make a commitment. Let's start from 30 days time. Today is 19th November. So 19th December. In fact, this is even peak sales period. So it's better we start it at this time. Get a clean sheet of paper. Then make a commitment. Write it boldly. Make a commitment like, over the next 30 days, my sales volume will be 1 million naira, for instance. This is an example of a commitment. Or you can say, over the next 30 days, I must keep my business records daily. Write it out boldly and put it somewhere that will be so visible that you'll be seeing it. Make a commitment. It's a personal commitment too, but I can become your accountability partner if you get me involved. Maybe you can write down your commitment, then scan and send to me. I will now know that yes, you want me to become your accountability partner. Then a month from today, 19th December, I'll call you and ask you, I will chat you and ask you, where are we on this? I can ask for evidences. That's the way to go. That's what I really want us to do. So just put something down that you want to get done on daily basis in the next 30 days. Something that will be measurable. We'll be able to say, yes, this is it. This is the proof. This is evidence. I've done this. I've done that. Then, if maybe you are still hustling or you have not even started anything, any business, you can still take a decision. I want to start in January, but from today, I want to set aside this volume of money, this amount of money. I want to set it aside on daily basis, so that by this time, 3 months time, I can start off this with this. I don't know if you understand. You can say, okay, on daily basis, I'll be bringing out 500,000 from my sales. This 500,000, I want to put it somewhere in a bank. Then, at the end of, let's say 3 months, this 500,000 will come to this amount. This is what I'm going to do with this 500 naira. If you still want us to become part of that story, we are available. So you can now tell us, okay, Nobles, this is what I want to do. We'll give you our product that will serve you best. It can be easy save, it can be future fund, it can be gold vault, whatever it is that will suit your purpose, we'll sell you. You can now say, okay, let me open this account with Nobles. Then we'll be running this thing together. We'll run it together with you. At the end of that 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, depending on your plan, we can now say, okay, this is where we are. How do we move on to the next level? So we want to connect your business dreams to real savings and support. We want to support you. We want to become your number one fan. We want to be hailing you when you're doing well. And we want to flog you when you are not doing well. We want to become your accountability partners. That's who we want to be for you, to be sure that you grow to the next level. Then these are our contacts in case you don't have it. Our contact is here. You can always have access to it when you replay this presentation. And here we draw the curtain for today's presentation. Thank you for staying with us. We are happy having you around, and we implore you to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow is another day. It's our day 4. We are going to run this till Saturday. That should be the end of our own global enterprise week. But globally, the enterprise week is ending on Sunday, but our own programs will end on Saturday. Thank you, and do have a nice day.